What's up, y'all? It's nighttime guru in the building, you know what I'm saying? Hell of a spiritualist, hell of a magician, you know what I'm saying? Demon Slayer Sensei, let's get it. Um, so, the topic of this video is kind of like a continuation of the last video, where I was talking about, like, you feel me, uh, where I was getting the name Demon Slayer Sensei, but basically, like, what spiritual experiences are you having, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to tell y'all, um, about like the enlightening experiences that I have had. You know what I'm saying? To where I would say it's actually like enlightening. You know what I'm saying? Where I was actually like clothed or bathed or gifted like light. You know what I'm saying? Or like from heaven. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess heaven is within. You know what I'm saying? But the very first experience I had, it wasn't like the light was shining from within. It's like a light actually like descended upon me. Let's say. So, um, this was a few years ago. This maybe like 10 years ago, something like that. And I was sleeping outside, right? And I've been sleeping outside for like the whole summer. This was some hippie like you feel me meditation. You feel me trying to like you feel me like uh, how do you say like give up materialism? You know what I'm saying like that. So, anyways, this is like towards the tail end. So this might have been like, like the end of the summer, and I had made friends with this guy over the summer, and he was what do you call him, Ramos? We'll call him Ramos. You know what I'm saying? So he was visiting from overseas, and he was here for the summer, and his brother was attending a university in I think it was like George Washington University, I think it's called. Uh, you know what I'm saying? And so he was like staying with his brother, but I guess his brother had too many like flatmates and everything, so like he just like couldn't stay there, or he was just like I don't know if he couldn't stay there, like you know what I'm saying, or he was just uncomfortable. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna like basically sleep outside from a whole nother country, and then just decided to start kicking it outside for the summer. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is though is like luckily for him, he's in a good area, and met some good people. You know what I'm saying? We chopped it up. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you feel me? Um, you know what I'm saying? It was interesting because like I was keeping an eye out for him, like make sure you're good. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm sure he didn't really need it, you know what I'm saying? He was doing fine, but the intention was there. But he worked at a restaurant, so it wasn't even like I was like, you feel me, scrounging for food the whole summer. Like I would eat like sushi like every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a good time. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, uh, so we were sleeping at George Washington University, like basically in the campus like area. You know what I'm saying? So we were sleeping at a park, and he had a longboard, and he would like let me like use the longboard while he's at work or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He actually left it for me to keep. You know what I'm saying? But I just never ended up like going and picking it up. But so we were sleeping at a park. He was laying on a bench, and I was like sleeping on a longboard, right? And I think there's some very, very like you feel me, some enlightening, lessons kind of like in this. So I want you guys to make sure that you listen, to the story, and then what I kind of like got from it over the last few days. When I really started like thinking about it. So, so I was sleeping on a longboard. You was sleeping on a bench, right? And I had been in meditation for a while, you know what I'm saying, and all that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying. So so what was I doing? So I was sleeping on a longboard, and like basically I fell asleep, right? And then I ended up like in this like space. It was literally like black space, like a void, you know what I'm saying? And uh, Buddha was there, and Jesus Christ was there, and like Ganesh and like Shiva, you know what I'm saying, Muhammad, and it was like seven deities. I hope I named seven, but it was like seven deities. Maybe Confucius, you know what I'm saying? But they were like they were congratulating me. You know what I'm saying? It's almost I don't know whether or not they were congratulating me like you're the first human, or you made it to like deityhood. You know what I'm saying? Like they were like, oh yeah, you the eighth religion. You know what I'm saying? So we were so we were movie. So they were like congratulating me. They're like, you made it. You know what I'm saying? They're like, you reached like the highest level of enlightenment. You know what I'm saying? Because what's the point of enlightenment if you gotta keep like going? Now that I think about it, you know what I'm saying? You always gotta keep striving for more. You know what I'm saying? It has to be, ultimate enlightenment. So they're like, you made it. And I was like, all right, cool. And they're like, you can stay here. You feel me? Like, basically, it's like a black void. Um, but like they can live in it consciously. Like when you go to sleep, you know what I'm saying, and you like get that like blackness where you're not dreaming or anything. It's like that experience. But when you're extremely like aware, you can like operate in that space. You know what I'm saying, and kind of like, you feel me? That's like the space where all of reality is created from. Because nothing, like I think, what did they say? The earth was void. You know what I'm saying in the Bible. So there's nothing but void first. And then that's when you start creating like colors and sounds and all that kind of stuff. So like you made it, you know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, cool. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, where's everybody? They're like, niggas don't make it this far, you know what I'm saying? Like usually you might make it like to the dream realm, you know what I'm saying, or to like the color realm, you feel me, or the sound realm, where like and and you know that's as far as a lot of individuals go. You know what I'm saying? Nobody like really makes it to the void and then really just like, exists in the void, you know what I'm saying, is content with that. You feel me? And there are, you reach some level of like, harmoniousness and contentedness with yourself to where you can exist in a void and be alright, you know what I'm saying? Like giving up everything, you feel me, not having to sit there on my cell phone, you feel me, all day, and you know what I'm saying, having to go out and have drinks with friends and all that stuff all the time, you know what I'm saying? And that's, and the void is just the spiritual reflection of the physical nature of, uh, of the spiritual nature of the, physical reflection of giving up like all these material things. So, so then, so I was like, but what about my family? You know what I'm saying? What about, you feel me, folks that I care about? And they were like, you feel me? They were like, well, they will make it eventually, most likely. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? If not here, they don't make it to like, the next realm. You feel me? Their next level of evolution as far as enlightenment goes. And I was like, well, you feel me? Like, what's gonna happen to my body? You know what I'm saying? I was like, well, what if I stay here? What happens to my physical body? And they're like, basically you'll go into a coma, and if you stay away from your physical body long enough, I think it would have been like a few months. Like, for some reason, what's coming to me right now is like 7 months. You know what I'm saying? Like 6 months, my body would be weak. You feel me? There might be like some kind of like nerve damage and stuff like that, but I could still return. But anytime after that, I would not have been able to. So, so they were like, that's how things would go if you decide to stay here. And I was like, well, I could. You feel me? This is a fantastic, location. You know what I'm saying? It's wonderful. But I don't want to do that to my family. You know what I'm saying? Even if they are just imaginative thought forms, you know what I'm saying, that are created by my own subconscious, you know what I'm saying? Then you feel me? I wouldn't want to be living with that experience, even in this realm, thinking of it, you feel me, ever. You know what I'm saying? And maybe in regards to like the emotional distress it might cause them. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, if I made it, you feel me, maybe I can guide others to make it. So they were like, yo, that is some real stuff. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, real, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but anyway, so I ended up going. So then I was like, okay, I'm going back to my body, bro. So I felt myself descend like through these. It has to be like 7 layers of heaven. You know what I'm saying? Then I felt myself go boom through one layer, boom through another layer, boom, 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 and then and then I got back to my body. And when I got back to my body, I was laying there for a second. I was like, bro, did I make the worst decision I ever made? You know what I'm saying? I was like, bro, I was literally in like the highest version of heaven, because there's supposed to be like 7 heavens. I was in the highest version of heaven. And then like a few seconds later, I kind of like hear like music or something like that, and then like doves start flying. You feel me, around me? It was like 2 doves. They start like flying, and then they were like, and then you feel me, like everything like got like brighter, you know what I'm saying, like not brighter but like more vibrant, you know what I'm saying. And then like there was these two nurses, they were standing over me and they were looking at me and they were just like smiling. It was these black women, they were in like scrubs, and they were just like standing over me and they were just like smiling. And then this light like started floating down from like the sky, and I was looking at it like, what's that, you know what I'm saying. And then it landed like in my heart back, and all I just felt was like just bliss. I was just feeling really good, and I started crying. I started like I'm talking about tears like streaming out my face though, and I was like, bro, I was like, yo, is this, you feel me, like what light enlightenment, you know, is, you know what I'm saying. And a few seconds later, everything like returned back to normal, and I woke up, and I started like looking around, and I was like, did anybody else just experience what I experienced? And everybody was going about their day, you know what I'm saying. I was like, dude, I was like, wow, like I just got basically like a light from heaven. But I think I'll give y'all some like kind of why I think, you feel me, like scientifically, you feel me, like why I think that that was able to occur for me, you know what I'm saying. So one of the reasons I think is because, like, let's say like you're getting a light, you feel me, from heaven, you know what I'm saying. It's going to be very difficult because a lot of folks don't like sleep outside, you feel me. Even if they're like camping, you know what I'm saying, usually have like tents or, you know, Winnebago or such like that. But you feel me, like the fact that I was sleeping outside, I think I was like barely under a tree. I think I was like not even in the shade, you know what I'm saying. I was like literally in the sun, you know what I'm saying. And it was like 80, 90 degrees outside, you know what I'm saying. So anyways, and I think that's one reason that I was able to get, you know, the light, you know what I'm saying. Um, you know what I'm saying. And then that just has, you know, something to say about like, you know, something to do with not being materialistic, you know what I'm saying. Because if I was, like I said, you feel me, I probably would have been, you know, somewhere else, you know what I'm saying, doing something else. So that was just very interesting, you know what I'm saying. That was very interesting. But uh, I wanted to talk about another time that I got like a heavenly upgrade. Um, but really, I can't really think of any right now. I really can't. Well, I can, but the one that I feel like I wanted to talk about, I can't quite remember right now. Anywho, until next time, nighttime guru forever, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that y'all, you feel me, doing your meditation, you know what I'm saying? Uh, Eating your vegetables and all that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Drink your tea, doing your yoga. Uh, until next time.